waiting on Big E.
What you said? What was his name again?
Big E. You know his name.
I'm not calling him that, dude. I refuse.
You're going to. Just call him E. You don't have to call him B.
I will not.
Just call him E. Just call him E. Just call him E.
No.
Just call him E.
No.
God damn it. Just call him E.
I will not do it.
Motherfucker, you will.
I will not do it.
You hear?
Did he hear? Did he hear all that?
Fuck.
What's his real name? I'm not gonna fucking call someone by their braver name. I'm not gonna do it.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Mm-hmm. We were just having an argument on why Chad was gonna or not gonna call you E, and I still haven't doxed your name, so I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you can just call me E.
Like,
that's cool. He's good. Yeah.
That's what I told him. I was like, you don't have to call him Big E. You just call him fucking E. And he's like, I won't. I was like, it's no different than a fucking Mr. X calling me.
Well, I see you've had some really good guests. You had Tom Whitmer on there. It looks like you had Ross on there. I'm kind of surprised you haven't gotten more views. So you're not marketing yourselves well enough because the people should listen to those interviews, from what I could tell.
Yeah, I don't care.
You know, we're not really good at that. Last part.
We'll have Ross on again tomorrow, and hopefully, I invited him, and he sent me a thumbs up with some blushing cheeks and a smiley emoji for what this was.
I thought that
so
was
whatever
Bledsoe.
that means. No, Bledsoe sent me a message as well, but that's a whole different story.
What do you think of Bledsoe? Do you think there's something to that?
Yeah, definitely. Super nice guy. I think originally what he described was most likely very real. I think I've seen pictures on his cell phone that he showed me when I was in San Francisco of these orbs that had faces in them right off his cell phone. Showed me a whole bunch of them. You know, he had at that time at the conference, he had people around him that he said, "Oh, I got the NSA over here," and the 2 or 3 different intelligence agencies that were kind of with him. I don't know if they were handling him or protecting him or what the deal was, but
observing him probably.
My concern would be is if he's smart enough to possibly, or not smart enough to be manipulated into believing certain things that or interpret things in such a way that maybe that's not exactly what's really happening. Maybe it's something else, but he believes it to be. But I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying that's possible. I don't think anybody's beyond being manipulated. I don't think we can rule out that something else might be going on that Bledsoe's sharing could lead to some sort of future event that could be manipulated.
It almost seems that this aspect of it, this whole quasi-religious aspect of it, is like automated, if that makes any sense. It doesn't seem like there's any kind of real intelligence behind it.
Hey, I was thinking last night, do you think maybe this is a program that once people read these words, maybe it activates that hitchhiker effect and more people open their eyes to the phenomenon?
That's a stretch. It could be, but I would.
E.
Yeah.
How would you make a Tic Tac fly?
Let's put it this way. I believe this. I don't have evidence to prove it, but through conversations that I've had, I believe that we have, when I say we, I'm talking about United States engineering technology, advanced propulsion that would be considered, black, top secret, that's not in any kind of article or any kind of briefing that any of us have had. But I think that we have these drone type or even plane type vehicles that, I've seen these drones that look exactly like planes. I've got a picture of one. I don't think every object we see in the sky that we did not make, the United States or any other government, is necessarily contains aliens. I think a lot of these objects that show up could be like probing devices, or they're just observation devices, or they're sent here to kind of just scan things and whatnot. And then when the real aliens come, they're coming in a whole other kind of vehicle, not a Tic Tac. That's my opinion.
Right. You think it is they're automated. There's a lot about the phenomenon that seems automated. Even its relationship to human consciousness, in a large part, it seems automated. And I wonder how much of that has to do with, rumors of the Black Knight satellite. Is that thing somehow affecting consciousness? That's a leap, but we're dealing with something that may have an intelligence that's far more evolved than our own. So I think leaps are things that we need to be taking.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty convinced there's some other sentient, conscious, living entity out there that it's not human like we are, that has technology and that's way more advanced than us. But however, I think that we here on Earth have developed technology and propulsion systems that are we're starting to get like we can almost be in the game. We probably wouldn't win the game, or we wouldn't even do very well in the game, but I think that we're starting to be able to play in the game, at least with our own technology, and that's where things are going to get kind of murky, is that, you know, sometimes people in the future, even right now, I think people might see things in the sky and think, oh my God, that was a UFO, there's aliens, oh my God.
Right.
But maybe it's not. I mean, maybe it's just our technology, but that does not mean that there aren't aliens out there at the same time. But they can very easily convince us whatever they want to convince us. They can convince us, oh, it's aliens, but then it's our own technology, human-made technology. Or they could say, oh, it's not aliens, it's human technology. So they could fuck with us. They could tell us whatever they want to tell us, and we don't know. We can't prove any of it.
Yeah, I only know there's shit up there, and I don't know what the fuck it is. That's all I know. So.
Yeah, it's maddening to me that we're not getting the answers we deserve. And when I say deserve, I mean deserve. I mean, I think we have a right to know. It's not a privilege to know the truth. I believe that it's our right.
You tell the Catholic Church that, huh?
I know this for a fact, that there's people that are involved in intelligence. I'm not going to name any agencies, but I'm just going to call it intelligence, that flat out don't believe we have a right to know. And that person, for example, explains to me why that is. And if you look at it from their perspective, if they have technology and it's designed for offense or defense of our country, for example, then their thinking is that we don't have a right to know because they're doing a job to protect us and our country. So, in that, you know, so why do we? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Why do we have a right to know? Why should we need to know? I mean, I know what I know based on my own personal experiences. I've seen these things in the sky close up in the day and at night that I'm totally convinced were not made by anybody on Earth. So I'm already convinced of it. I don't need to be convinced. Yeah. Maybe other people need to be convinced, but I don't know. We're never going to get the facts about that. I don't think there's ever going to be real disclosure. We're always going to wonder that, and that's just how it's going to be. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, aside from legal reasons, which clearly say that it's our right to know, truth in and of itself is a complex force which behaves in a weird way when it's contained under pressure. How do I say this? If you try and lie to somebody, it's like gaslighting somebody. It's never a good thing. It creates kind of like mutations in people's emotional states. If you carry that over to a large group of people and do what the government is doing to us, I think that it creates like detrimental effects on the populace. And I don't think that those detrimental effects are being shared, and I think that they're known by now. I mean, it's nothing good. They're not protecting us from anything. They're just being secretive for the sake of being secretive, I believe.
Okay, so let me run this by. Let's just say that there was information that people high up had so they had to. It was their decision to disinform, misinform, or deceive people. Now you can't do selective disinformation dissemination. For example, if people involved want to put out misinformation, I don't believe personally that they're targeting U.S. citizens. We in the United States, for example, we want to know certain things, but if we want to maintain, and I'm not trying to side with the bad guys. No, there's a no-win situation for them. Their job is to protect us. And I'm not justifying lying, I'm not justifying deception, but if that's what they feel they need to do to protect us, then I'm okay with that, because if I want to know the truth personally, I feel like I have enough resourcefulness and intelligence and ability to go out and find the truth. So then I've satisfied my own curiosity. I think everybody has that ability to go out and find whatever the truth is and then share it with whoever they want, on their friends, on a podcast, whatever. So the truth is out there.
Well, see, now I believe that the very structure of our government prohibits any kind of healthy collection of data, because there's no, it's not homogenous. You know, they can't, it's like a game of telephone. You have different administrations running the information in different ways. There's very little cohesion. So, you know, in essence, I understand what you're saying, and I would agree with it, like the same way that I would agree that a book about a utopian future is really pretty. You know what I mean? But in actual factual reality, it's not, you know, because there's too many factors that prohibit that utopia from becoming realized in any meaningful way.